Hey guys, and welcome to episode 40 of the Entirely X Gaming Podcast. I'm your influencer host, Mike Spindler. With us today is our spectacle observer, Ben. And the one who is always fully on the bandwagon, Tyler.
Hi.
And our final reviewer, Joe.
What's up, guys?
Shalom.
Now, before we get into this big news week, we have some big news of our own. Our host, Joe, finally hit 1 million Gamerscore. So, congrats, Joe. Play some air horns there.
Okay.
I'll add that in later. Yeah.
The show notes said there was supposed to be a drum roll.
That is true. I'm sorry. Will air horns do?
Or do that.
Yes.
Well, congrats, Joe. That is literally double my Gamerscore, so well done,
thank
sir.
you.
Slacking, Mike, slacking. And that's
Well,
me saying
tired.
That. I mean, come on.
I know. He did do a stream of it. I was there for it. A lot of people were there for it, actually.
Yeah, there was like 160 different viewers.
Yeah,
wow.
it's pretty good.
And it was like concurrently at around 25 for the majority of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. And what was your millionth Gamerscore achievement, Joe?
It was from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and it was above average Joe.
Absolutely amazing. I loved it.
I love it.
It was really good. That was well planned.
It was.
Now, how much time did you actually put into planning all of that?
Planning it, so like the day before I was like 1,010 points away, so I was gonna play Deathmark, which is some Japanese text adventure sim game or whatever.
Yeah, I saw you.
It's got some like it's got some horror elements and boss fights into it. I don't know that much about it, but I know it's on the Vita and the Switch here in America, but it only made it to Japan on the Xbox.
Ah.
But in the middle of the game, I was following the guide, and I got lost because I don't understand Japanese. So, yeah, it's a little hard to navigate through a game when the language is symbols and not letters.
Yep.
So, yes, in the middle of it, I just kind of dropped what I was doing, and I probably lost some viewers because I wasn't interacting with them all that much, because, like, I'm in the middle of this trying to do research while I'm doing this, because I thought I had the 1,000 on lock,
Yeah.
Right.
and I didn't, so I gotta, like, slowly do some research. It's like, okay, well, I need this 30-point achievement and this to get to this number, and everybody always asks, like, I post on Facebook groups a lot or whatever, and everybody's like, how did you hit 1 million evenly? That is almost impossible. My 12,000 score ends with a 6.
Well, it's because you messed it up.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Gotta do math.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta know what you're doing, do a little bit of research, do some math or whatever.
TrueAchievements.com.
Yeah, TrueAchievements.com. But yeah, no, I did like a whole bunch of I was doing like a whole bunch of research like in the middle of the stream, and I played that Glass Masquerade game, which is like exceptionally boring. And I'm streaming on my PC while I'm which is next to my 65-inch television. So, like, I'm looking at this exceptionally large television from, like, a very, like, obtuse angle where I can't see everything, so it's exceptionally difficult for me to play. Like, especially a game where I put puzzle pieces together and stuff like that. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. I had decided on that achievement probably like 150,000 points ago.
Oh, okay.
I had one picked out for the longest time, like all the way back to like probably around 500,000, and I kind of changed it towards the end.
What was that one?
It was from Turning Point, which I don't know if you guys have played that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I totally wanted to go with maybe I should go outside for getting 2,500 ranked kills.
Yeah.
I felt like that would have been a good one as well.
That would have been a good one.
then I wouldn't have been able to use my cool custom controller.
Yeah. And there's pictures of that up on Twitter.
Yes.
It is
I
a
actually,
very clean controller. I like it a lot.
Major Nelson actually tweeted out some site the other day that sells custom like holders for it. And and they're made out of like wood and stuff like that, and you can get them engraved.
I did see that. Okay.
Yes, they are very nice.
Yeah.
They are very nice, and I ordered one, and I am getting it engraved.
How much was it?
It was well. I guess you have to send an email to get like a price inquiry for for an engraved one. But just the base controller holder is $55.
Okay.
But it's fitted with like the grooves and everything like that. And I'm going to get one of those. I'm gonna get it engraved. I'm still kind of undecided on what I want to say, but I think the engravings start at $15, and it's like it's engraved in the wood, which is really nice.
Yep.
And I got a picture of like the Beautiful Joe like a screenshot of that achievement. I have a picture of the Million itself, like from the Xbox app, because that's probably the cleanest one I'm gonna get of it.
Cleanest way to do it. Yep.
Yeah, and I actually have a picture of my buddy Mike selling me the game that I did with it.
That's so cool.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but
I did.
He's the early 30s bearded fellow selling me that copy of the game. He's a cool dude, though. He used to work at GameStop. He works at some other video game store now.
Nice. Shout out to Mike. No, that's pretty cool. But congratulations, and
Thank
we
you.
will move on with the show. And well, I guess what have we wasted our money on lately, guys? Ben.
I think a few of us have wasted our money on mine for this week.
I think all of us wasted our money this week. Yeah.
Yep.
But Far Cry New Dawn, who's got in on that with me?
Nice.
No.
I did.
Same.
Yep.
I haven't touched it yet. It's installed. It's ready to go. I'm gonna find the time. I will start talking sense about that at some point soon.
Nice.
But yeah,
And
that's
that was
the
it?
main thing this week. There's much more to come in the next like 2 or 3. It's
about to get
mental.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I picked up Crackdown 3, and I believe a couple of other of us have as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Haven't played
Joe,
it yet,
did you?
I
okay.
I picked it up and played it exclusively for this episode.
Nice.
though. Ooh.
I was
Research,
not going to
right?
buy it.
You're welcome. Tyler, what else did you buy?
I
Pick
bought
up.
Resident Evil 2.
Have you played that yet?
I have not.
So just literally
No,
spending money and not
yeah,
playing.
just spending money. No, I've been playing. We'll get into that later. Why? I
Yeah,
haven't.
yeah.
But yes, those are the two that I've bought: Crackdown 3 and Resident Evil 2.
And what about you, Joe? Anything else?
I got Jump Force.
Ooh. But you haven't played it yet, I'm assuming.
It is still sealed.
So no.
We're doing well this
Alright.
week, aren't we?
Yeah, real well. Well then, why don't we just get into what we've actually been playing? And Joe, why don't you kick us off, Mr. Million?
Yeah. So after Tuesday, I've literally been a one-a-dayer, where I just get an achievement a day to keep my True Achievements achievement streak up
Yep.
and running still.
Yeah. Are you
so
gonna
I've
let
been
it go after the million or no?
Mike, I've been keeping it going. Yeah. So.
Alright.
Yeah. No. I was 2 days away from hitting 1,700 days. So.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta keep it going. So I've been playing Glass Masquerade, which I streamed
Yep.
in that final stream, because you can play that game for about like 5 to 10 minutes and lock down a pretty easy achievement for the day.
Right.
And yeah, and I kind of just sat and relaxed all day. And I went out with my boys on Saturday night, which I have not done in a while because I've been grinding away.
So you got some time to go out.
bro time.
Yeah, no,
That's
it was
good.
nice. I usually only go out on like the weekends, but I don't like do anything crazy. But like we went out to eat, and I had a few drinks, which I do not do,
Oh.
and it was exceptionally not that all right the next morning at work. Which is probably not a good day to do it because like I do like everybody's payroll and stuff like that. So
Not the best time to come in hungover.
yeah, no. So I gotta make sure like all that's right and stuff like that, and everybody
Yeah.
gets paid. I don't think I messed up, but
I'm sure you'll find out this Thursday.
You'll hear about it if you did.
no, I think I did all right or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it got approved, so
That means it worked. You're good.
I think we're good. Yeah, and I got Crackdown Friday, and I didn't start it until last night, probably around like 7:00.
Okay.
I did get a. We were supposed to record yesterday, so I was gonna get home and play it, but I kind of got out of work late because I had some other stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
But and then like Mike's like 10 minutes away from like we're supposed to start. It's like, can we do tomorrow?
Hey, they don't know that.
They do now.
Oh no, I'm.
Right, now
What do they do now? Yeah, I'm like in the fucking grocery store buying like Sour Patch Kids and necessities.
So how many hours do you have in Crackdown?
Probably like 3 to 4.
Okay.
I played it. I took a nap last night, like really late, and then I stayed up till like 3 in the morning playing it, which I also do not do.
Just coming brand new Joe after the million, apparently.
Apparently.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure we're going to get into Crackdown here in a second. So, Ben, what have you been playing?
I have been almost solely Apex Legends for the entire week.
What? No way.
Yeah. I am. It's your fault, Mike. It's your fault. I'm blaming you.
I'll take that.
I come online and I'm like, right, let's play some games, and then you're like, yeah, let's play Apex. I'm like, fuck.
Yep. And you
In
can't say no.
In my defense, I am
Yep.
two achievements.
Two
away from
achievements.
the 1,000.
Yep.
No, that's not bad.
Yep. Both
So
of us are. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm completing that game. That's the way that's going down.
Until
Yep.
they add more achievements.
Yeah. Which
I'm gonna.
is
You
like
know
10
me.
days away.
You know me. I get the OG 1,000.
Is that a thing?
I believe so. They're adding new legends, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming achievements are coming with it.
Yeah.
I'm actually intrigued by this one, surprisingly, because
It is.
I like Titanfall.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You would like this. It's a very
I was actually in
polished.
GameStop yesterday after I got to work when I grabbed my copy of Far Cry. 'Cause I forgot to pre-order it or was unsure if I wanted it or both.
right.
And someone was in the store buying Titanfall 2, and I was just like, where were you like 3 years ago?
Yeah, right.
Where were you like 3 years ago when this game was good?
Apparently, they've had unprecedented increase in sales because of Apex Legends.
That's
Titanfall
good.
2.
It's a very good thing, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it helped that the game was only $4.50 this week too.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's good though, isn't it? It's nice that it's finally at least getting some uptake.
Yes. 100%. Go play Titanfall 2. It's one of the best first-person shooter campaigns out there.
They chose the wrong week to release that damn game.
Yes, they did. I read an interview with Vince Zampella after Apex, had hit the 25 million players or whatever in 3 days and 72 hours. Just crazy numbers. It was actually Respawn who picked that date. It was not EA to put Titanfall 2 between Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty.
Respawn got it fucking wrong.
They did.
They
Yep.
did. Although
Yeah,
didn't he
no,
own
That's
up to
horribly
it?
wrong. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's very
That's,
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Let's put
that's pretty dangerous territory because like Gears of War 4 came out that month.
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
like Battlefield came out the week before that, and then that came out, and then Call of Duty came
Call
out
of
the
Duty.
week after, and
Yep.
I mean, like, your target audience is literally
Yeah.
the same people that buy all those. So,
Yeah, I get it. Standing on, trying to stand his ground and
yeah, no,
all of
but,
that, but
that's
he just fell on his own sword.
Yeah, no, that's just a bad move overall. I mean, like, not everybody is like, like me or like you, where,
Right.
We could just dump $240 on a game
Right.
or whatever. Like, a lot of people are operating on a budget, and you're fighting over the same $60 with,
Yep.
number one, yourself, because it's Battlefield.
It's Battlefield.
Call of Duty, which is the big hitter, and Gears of War 4, which was, I would have liked to imagine, pretty anticipated at the time, because when did 3 come
it
out?
was.
2011, so it was
it
4
was
years.
Yeah, it's a big title within a 3-week span. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, it was just interesting to come out. Like, everyone's been, shitting on EA, blaming EA for Titanfall when Respawn stepped up and said, no, we're going to come out on this date.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They obviously
I don't know,
thought they obviously thought that they had the chance
They
to
had
displace
something.
Battlefield
Yeah.
and Call of Duty, which I think they were getting there. They were getting there, but they
Yeah.
weren't ready then.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Apex, though.
I mean, let's say this about Apex for anyone who's like, should I try this out? It's free. What's stopping you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you.
literally it.
Well, with Apex itself, I think now I'm a level 57 or 58, and I had 65 hours in week 1.
Jesus.
That game,
You have a problem.
yeah,
That's
that
a
was
bit-
that was my main.
That's a bit of a problem.
It's a good game, very good game, and I've gotten to play it with Ben, and me and him haven't had a first-person shooter to play like competitively in a long time.
It's been far too long, and we are
It's been way
enjoying
too long,
ourselves.
yeah.
might be joining you on that boat soon.
Oh, do
Hey,
it, do
we
it.
definitely, yeah.
Too bad it's only
very fun.
trios.
For now,
For now.
they're talking
For
about
now.
like 12-player
Yeah.
teams, aren't they?
Yeah, like special time events
Okay.
and stuff like that. The battle pass is officially confirmed for March.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they're
I
doing,
will-
they're
we
doing
will
the right
definitely be
thing
talking
and
about
keeping
that.
on top of this,
Yep.
aren't they?
Yeah.
they
They
so
are.
far they haven't done anything crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The skins though, I don't think since the last time we recorded, the skins now that come in the shop, you can buy them. When they are gone from the store, Respawn has said they will never come back. So you have that one time to do it, and that's it.
How long are they in the store?
Depending on which one, because they have featured ones and then weekly ones. The weekly ones are obviously in there for a week.
How many
The other
shekels?
ones are in there for 3 days.
How many
so you have-
schmeckles?
Yeah, 3 schmeckles. Yep.
There's 3 schmeckles each?
Yes.
They're pretty pricey. I believe they're 1,800 Apex coins, which is $20.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
But you say that, but every Fortnite skin is also $20.
That is true.
So,
That I also express the same opinion about that.
yeah. The only thing that I like about it is the exclusivity, whereas Fortnite skins are $20 and they recycle them every other week.
Yes, that's one thing that Fortnite needs to stop doing.
Stop doing. Right.
Like, you're just spitting in your customers' faces at that point when you
Yeah.
bring back a skin that they thought was never coming back.
Yep.
But
Or people that invested money into it, like
Yeah.
myself, that, back in season 1, season 2, you'd pay $20 for a skin.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're an OG player at that point. And
Yeah.
then season 6, they bring back the same
oh yeah,
skin.
hey, here he is again. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Just kind of ruins it for the people that invest into
Yeah.
that ecosystem.
yeah.
But it's nice to see Respawn saying, no, we're not doing that.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
What else?
yeah, that's Apex for this week. Is
Yeah.
that all you've been playing, Ben?
Oh yeah. That I'll
Yeah, okay.
smash some more stuff this week, but that for the
All
week
right.
just gone. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, how about you, Tyler?
Well, as we just talked about, yes, Apex. I have been playing it.
Nice.
Mike, you're probably gonna hate me for saying this. I do not enjoy it as much as Fortnite.
Oh, you're insane.
I know. I don't know if it's just because I've only been playing Fortnite and I haven't actually played, a serious first-person shooter in a while.
Right.
But like I went back and I played Fortnite because they're doing this thing called overtime challenges right now, where you get season 8 battle pass for free. So that's pretty.
Which is cool.
That's their way to make up for Apex coming out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think if Apex hadn't come out,
They
would
wouldn't have
still
done it, no.
you'd still be paying the $10 for
Oh, yeah.
the season 8 battle pass.
So I've been working on that, but I mean, I won 3 games in Fortnite without really even trying.
Yeah.
So, and in Apex, like, if I sit there and actually try, I'll still only come in like 3rd or 4th, but
It's because all the good kids have gone to Apex.
yes, that's why. So, but no, I've just been playing those 2, and then Kingdom Hearts 3. Just working through that, still having fun in that. I'm at Arendelle? Yeah, Frozen.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then I've been playing there's a mobile game for Kingdom Hearts called Cross Union.
Yep.
Because you get a Keyblade for completing stupid mini games in it, and it's a pain in the butt, and oh my god. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, when can we talk spoilers of Kingdom Hearts?
Not
Never.
actually. I did just see an update where they are coming out with a new mode, difficulty for it.
Oh.
Critical mode.
Okay.
Basically, it's just, you take the hardest mode, which is proud mode right now, and you make it twice as hard.
Great.
But
Just
not
what I
yet.
wanted.
Just not yet. I mean, it only came out last month.
End of January.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
29th.
29th.
Give
Yeah,
it
almost a month ago.
Give it a month, and then we can start talking spoilers or
Okay.
talking about it.
Alright.
Because I mean, I still haven't even finished the game yet.
Wasn't
No,
that
neither
our
have I,
rule
but
originally
I'm
as
like
well?
3 worlds in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that our rule though?
So-
Like if it's like 2
Yeah,
months
you gotta
after
wait a month.
release, you've got like
I think it's that. Yeah.
Like, don't go into like really big details, but you can
No,
say,
no.
like, smaller
I have
things.
some.
Yeah.
I have some. All right. Wait, we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, so is that all you've been playing?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I still gotta try Res 2 remaster.
The remake.
The
I'll be
remake of
interested
it.
in that one. What you think?
I've seen some stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
oh my god.
I mean, that was one of my favorite Resident Evils.
Yeah.
So
So
to see it remastered like this, I'll be interested.
yeah.
All right. Well, then I've been Crackdown 3, obviously, which we get into here in a second. I picked up Danger Zone 2, which is
Danger
that
Zone.
crashing game thing. It's pretty fun. It's an easy 1,000. I mainly just play it right before I get off at night. Just do a couple levels, crash into a couple cars. Apex Legends, obviously, talked about that. Hot news drop. They are adding a new gun.
Ooh.
It's available right now.
Oh,
Can
boy.
I interrupt you for a second?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know if you saw this last week, but a little bit of news relatable to Danger Zone 2. Three Fields, who developed that, they made the 2 Danger Zone games and Dangerous Golf. They announced Dangerous Driving, which is a spiritual successor to Burnout.
Oh, no way.
Ooh.
Yeah. I
I'm
think
about that.
it comes out April 9th, and it's only $40.
Ooh. I'm
And it's
very excited.
It's got a physical release as well. It's up for pre-order on Amazon.
Ooh, sweet. Well, that just made my day. Because that's why I supported Danger Zone 2. Yeah, I mean, it was $10.
Yeah.
But Burnout was probably one of my favorite games on the original Xbox. So that'll be all. You said April for that one?
April 9th.
Very nice. I like that a lot. But that's kind of all I've been playing. A little Kingdom Hearts, but again, we'll talk about that later when more time has passed. So, this week, for the topic of the show, with all the drama coming around Crackdown 3 and games media, we wanted to discuss the issue of games media being biased, if it's real or not, and what are our takes on Crackdown 3 being the center focus that a lot of the Xbox fans have claimed that there is bias towards the Xbox brand and games. So, first off, let's just start with Crackdown 3. What do you guys think of it that you have played? So mainly Joe here. Joe, what do you think of Crackdown 3 so far?
Okay, so like I said, I only have 3 to 4 hours put into it.
Right.
So I have not played the full game. So we're gonna hold this with like a little grain of salt or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Little caveat.
yeah. I feel like what I've played in the I played it. It performs well. Like everybody's like, oh, this looks like a 360 game or whatever. Whatever. You don't play the graphics. Like
Exactly.
you don't play the visuals. It's nice when they look nice, but if they're cartoony, also okay. Like you played Sunset Overdrive, no issues. Like you play stuff like Borderlands, you give that a 9+ or whatever. Like I see no issue with the visuals and how it runs.
I
looks.
actually think Crackdown 3 looks good on an X and a 4K TV.
Yeah,
Like, it looks totally fine.
I don't have any complaints with the way that it looks. When I played it, like when I first started it, I'm like, okay, like this is pretty good. Not great, but like fun, enjoyable. And as I kept playing and playing and playing and playing, I've noticed that what I felt over the first 45 minutes was how I felt over the next 4 hours. And there wasn't very much added to it. So, like, I kind of felt like I got all that I could get out of it in that short period of time. And to, like, find all the orbs and stuff like that, this is a 35 to 40 hour game.
I would say 35 hours, probably.
To get the 1,000 in? But
Yeah, because there's 1,000 orbs total with the hidden. Yeah.
Oh god, no. I'm having flashbacks to Crackdown 2. Oh no.
Yeah.
You're
It's a
making-
lot easier to find the orbs, though.
Okay.
There's
good.
no, like, detection, but the audio cue is... you're not going to miss it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, because
Yep.
you're kind of making me not wanna pop.
And
Pop the send.
it shows you each section, how many you have out of the total
Okay,
amount
good.
in that area.
Okay, cool.
It's not
'Cause-
terrible. It's just
Alright.
going to be time consuming. So
'Cause-
I would agree with that 35. That'd probably be the sweet point.
Okay. Because I remember, I don't know if you did this, Mike, in Crackdown 2, there was like a
Yes.
interactive map to mark off which orbs
That was
you got.
terrible.
Oh my god.
Yep. That was terrible. No, this one,
That's good.
you won't need it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. All right, continue, Joe.
Yeah, so, like, IGN's review score of it is a 5. I think it's a little on the low side, if we're being honest.
Agree with you.
Everybody is talking about IGN's review of it.
Yes.
I thought when I first played it, it gave me the impression of like a strong 8-ish.
From that first cinematic to the first couple missions, like the first 3 missions, I totally agree with you.
But as I kept playing, and it was so repetitive, I mean, like, and it didn't really add to it, like, I feel like I gotta bring it down to, like, a 6 or a 6.5, because, like, I mean, when you play open world games like this, or whatever, and there's so many, and, like, there's countless amounts of them, and, I mean, I've played my fair share of these. Like, I played Infamous Second Son. I played some Sunset Overdrive. I played Just Cause. I played Saints Row or whatever. It's just, I feel like all of them do this formula better.
Yeah,
And I mean,
I would agree with you.
and
I think
like,
Sunset is better than Crackdown, and to me, being on Xbox, being an exclusive, those are the two most comparable.
yeah,
The thing with at least for me, I'm falling sort of. I'm like 5-6 hours in so far, so I'm just a little farther than Joe. It's fallen at about a 7, maybe 7.5, just because of Terry Crews. I have to give a half a point just because of Terry Crews. It's fantastic. Him just, especially when a big explosion goes off, and he's like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Like just being Terry Crews, that's fun. But a solid 7, I would say, is about where I fall. In I talked about in our pre-show of it being a gradual increase in abilities and gadgets, so it never feels like you actually hit a milestone of unlocking something new. I haven't had that sensation like, oh shit, until you get like a new level. Right, I'm at level 6, I think right now, 6 or 7. But that's because literally I saw an orb and I just ran around and collected orbs for at least 40 minutes. That's all. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not doing any story. I'm not seeing anything in this world. I'm just doing what I did in Crackdown 2.
That's literally what I did in Crackdown 2.
Right. And I hated Crackdown 2. It was nowhere near as good as the first one.
I love Crackdown 2.
The story was... I did not like it at all.
when we were talking about this earlier too, I think a lot of I didn't like Crackdown 2, like at all.
I'm
not a fan.
Your boat. Yep.
I think part of the reason, and I think Mike will agree with me, is that I enjoyed the first game is because I paid $60 to play the Halo 3 beta, and an open world game like Crackdown at its time was the right point in time for this to release. I think it's sitting on an 83 on Metacritic or whatever for the first one. I totally
agree with that too.
Which I can agree with that score.
Yep.
I'm not 100% on what the second one is at, but I know the score is lower. But I feel like this one plays better than the second game.
100%.
But I also don't think I would give it a higher score because the second game came out in the, I want to say, late 2000s, and we're almost a decade later, and like the improvement visually is there, but I don't feel like the gameplay is on par. Like where
so Crackdown 2 released July 6th, 2010, and it is sitting at a 70 on Metacritic.
Yeah. I think it plays better, but I just don't think like Crackdown has held like the test of time.
Yeah. I will say if you enjoyed Crackdown 1 and even 2, you will like Crackdown 3. But the discussion that the games media and people on Twitter and all the Xbox fans is Crackdown a bad game? I just don't think it's a great game.
I don't. No,
right?
it's not like knock it out of the park or anything. I mean, like I'll give it like a very generous. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
That's where I fall. People on the internet did not fall like that.
the Metascore is sitting at a 60. I mean, I think that's.
I wish it was higher. Honestly,
I think that's pretty
a little higher.
I think it's pretty ballpark for it. Like, I mean, maybe a little. Maybe you give it like a little bit of a higher score, but
if Crackdown 2 is sitting at a 70, Crackdown 3 has to be above it.
Yeah.
Now,
I have a question for the both of you.
Yeah.
What if Crackdown 3 had released at its normal time and they didn't delay it any? Do you think it would have been better?
No.
Like,
no.
I think it could have, because it would have come out before all of these revolutionary games like God of War and Spider-Man and Forza would have been out before, and Gears of War. So I think without that influence, I think it would have scored a little higher. But with the expectations of a game like God of War and what they did with it, turning it from 3 to what it is now, I think people had higher expectations that they were going to do that with Crackdown. And that's not what the team set out to do here. They just wanted to make a better, upgraded Crackdown.
I'm gonna go with no on this one.
Okay.
Just because, like, my main argument is, like, there's other... I mean, like, I guess you can compare Spider-Man to it or whatever, but I don't think Spider-Man really influences this. I think Spider-Man is more comparable to, like, you know, like Batman, kind of, in a sense, like its combat style and stuff like that. But, like, I view this as comparable to, like, Sunset Overdrive, which, I mean, this was scheduled for release after that. Maybe Just Cause, and I would say that Saints Row is a comparable one, because, like, you do get, like, the crazy jumping powers and stuff like that.
Yeah, the over-the-topness.
Yeah. And I feel like all those games do that significantly better.
Yeah.
So that's why that's personally why I think that. I feel like those games do a better job at what the sandbox is. Right. I mean, Saints Row 3 is an 84, and I feel like that is a more polished, like, from, like, a not a gameplay perspective, but, like, how your skills operate.
Right.
Saints Row 4 is... I mean, they're both over the top, but Saints Row 4 is significantly more over the top.
Yeah, Yeah, I could compare the two. I see it.
Yep.
Now, who has the bigger budget, Saints Row 4 or Crackdown 3?
Oh, Crackdown 3, hands down.
Yeah,
Who
I think so.
did
And look
Saints
what
Row?
happened to it.
Saints Row was THQ, but now it's Deep Silver.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, Ben, you've been quiet throughout this. Well, one, you haven't played it. But where do you fall on this argument of what makes a good game a good game? And do you have any interest at all in Crackdown 3?
That is perfectly worded for my opinion and my viewpoint. So,
Yeah.
I'll start with the first part. Where do I fall on the way that this has been reviewed?
Yeah.
I think it's an easy kicking horse for the reviewers. If it's not, the first top games, they get to do what reviewers love to do, which is give a negative review. They like to play good games, but let's be honest, you're not a reviewer for somewhere if you're not differentiating between good and bad.
Yep.
There's a lot of
Totally
games,
agree.
like, everyone already knows that the games that are low budget or, indie games are going to have some significant differences and lackings compared to high budget, high end games. That's always going to be the case. You're not expecting Gems of War to live up to Gears of War.
Right.
But it's not really excusable for them to use these games as an easy hit, because I think from what you're saying, it's possibly not deserving of some of the big reviewers' comments. In fact, I would say
I would agree.
Some of these are potentially actually factually incorrect.
Some of them are. There's a couple out there that are claiming that the game doesn't run at all or well, and I totally disagree with that. I've seen no frame rate drops. Like I said earlier, it looks good in 4K, and it runs perfectly fine on an X.
Yeah.
That said, I'm not playing on a Day 1 edition. I'm not playing on a 1080p TV. So, could it be different? Yes, it could. But I feel if you're playing the latest, greatest, and reviewing, you should be working on... Yeah, you should have the best hardware and play the best version of this game if you're going to review it. Or at least play it on each one and then review your game. But I saw a lot of things out there saying, like, the movement was clunky. And not just clunky as in your character is a low level. Because when you get leveled up, that game is smooth. And you're moving around, shooting, flying, jumping, boosting. It's very flawless in the movement. I could see maybe in the first hour not being able to double jump. Yeah, that sucks.
But I mean that was in Crackdown 1 and 2. Like
it was. Yeah.
You couldn't double jump until you got your agility up.
You leveled up. Yep.
Yeah. But if I go on to the next part. So
yeah, go ahead.
Joe made reference earlier. Well, one of you did anyway, saying you play the game. Nobody, people loved Borderlands. People loved. What was the other example? I forget. Borderlands is always the one that sticks in my mind. The cartoony games that people put up with endorse the cell shading graphics, and it's effectively a similar style of artwork now to what that was then.
Yes, like you're saying.
The point that was
go ahead.
The point that was made. Yeah, the point that was made before is that you guys like the games that have great gameplay. That you guys.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you guys put very
gameplay over graphics.
Yeah. So, it was an interesting thing for me to sit here and listen to, because I sat here and listened to the list that I think it was Joe came out with, saying Borderlands and things like that, and I was sat here going, actually, all that list I didn't really enjoy.
Yeah.
So
because you put graphics over.
I don't put it
normal.
I don't put it over gameplay.
Not over. I guess that's the wrong word. Yeah.
I feel like when I'm at the cutting edge of the games that are coming out, I'm buying them day one.
Right.
I kind of want them to have both.
Right.
So
it's more the style that you prefer.
Yeah. I mean, if someone's able to, if someone was able to say to me, "Oh well, no game's doing both," then I would be okay. I'd be okay with that. That would be like, okay, you make your choice between the two. But there are games that are doing both. We can think of examples on every console that are doing both, right?
Yeah.
Gameplay, graphics, storyline. I mean, there's some of them that come out.
I mean, God of War on the PS4, it's a 94 on Metacritic, and some of the best gameplay I've ever played. Also, one of the best visuals and stories.
Yeah.
So
Witcher 3 for me. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's yeah. So I'll leave that one as it is, but I think I'd like to point out that I back that other side of the argument.
The graphics are important.
I feel for me that they are relevant to a rating review.
Yeah, I don't know if Joe was saying the graphics aren't important. I don't think.
I don't think that something needs to look like the way Metro Exodus does or Gears of War does in order to be classified as a good game. I mean, people are saying that it looks like it has 360 visuals, and that's kind of what I was going for. I also love Borderlands, and I know that the cell shading is Rage is an adult graphics version of Borderlands or whatever, and both games are, I would say, comparable and from gameplay perspective, and both very good. And I think that the cell shading doesn't necessarily make Borderlands a bad game.
No, I don't think it makes
That's
it a
what I'm
bad
trying to go
game. It just it stopped me from enjoying that game as much as other people seem to have, and I thought it was worth mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a thing, but so yeah, I think in terms of what I think of Crackdown, I think that my last experience with any Crackdown, and my first and only experience with Crackdown was Crackdown 2. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
continue.
I feel like I may have stepped into the franchise at the wrong point, because not only did I step in Crackdown 2, which apparently was the worst of the three, I also stepped in I think I played a bit on someone else's console at one point, and it was partway through a mission, and you were running around trying to catch a thief, I think, that was going along in a car. and
Okay.
I just did not understand how I was. There was no mini map that I could see that was showing me things. I just felt like completely lost within the game. I didn't have any. I didn't understand what the attraction was of that compared to, say, Saints Row or GTA or any of these other games that are in the same sort of what I would call broad category. So it didn't suck me in, and that's why I've not played until now. So
Okay.
I'm going to be one of those guys that sits at a table and says, "Change my mind, change my mind, Michael."
See, it's hard without that. I think in order to enjoy Crackdown 3, you have to like Crackdown 1. Or Crackdown just even in the slightest.
Right.
I think jumping in without playing the other two might be a little hard here. Unless you really, really like Terry Crews.
I mean, I love Terry Crews, but I mean, a whole game at this point in the year, like this is crazy time right now.
It is crazy time. We're coming up on Anthem here in 3 freaking days, man. It's so hard to say because I'm having fun with Crackdown 3, right? Which, if it's an okay game, I'm still having fun playing it. I play Apex for 5 hours, and then I want to play a game and chill out. I would just play Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
Right? It's very mindless. It's very jump around, blow shit up, shoot stuff, and do cool stunts in cars. That's Crackdown 3. At least for me. Yeah. So if you have no interest or time to invest in that, then you're probably not going to play it. Right?
Okay. I mean, yeah. I think at this point in the year, Crackdown will have to wait.
Yeah. Now, I just want to real quick go back to one point that Joe made earlier about us buying Crackdown 1 for the Halo beta. Which is true. That's the only reason I bought that game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's true for a lot of people out there. This game is in Game Pass, right? So if you own Game Pass, you can just download this game.
It's 2 months for $2 right now, too.
Which is crazy. Definitely do that. It's $2, and there are other games that are, arguably better than Crackdown 3 in there. You can play all of the rebooted Tomb Raider series. The entire trilogy you can play right now in Game Pass.
Seriously?
For $2. Yeah.
1 and 3 of that are amazing.
Yeah. And they have the remastered, definitive, whatever the hell is in there. So there's technically 4 Tomb Raider games in there total. Because they have that 20th anniversary edition that had a separate achievement list as well.
Yeah.
Go play those. Get Game Pass for that, and while you're there, guess what? All first-party Microsoft games are in there for free. So you have the entire Gears of War series. You have Forza on top of it. Crackdown 1 and 2 are both in there. And Crackdown 3. So to me, it's just a different version of that Halo 3 beta, right? It's just an add-on to something else that you might like or you might not.
Okay, so it's becoming
at least try
more
Game
and
Pass.
more relevant.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you have Game Pass, guess what? It hurts you in no way to go try this game. It's free and you've already paid for it. So,
yeah.
Now, back to one of the other questions of this is, do we think that there truly is a Xbox bias for the games on Xbox right now?
For clarity, you mean you mean a negative bias against Xbox?
Yeah, a negative bias against Xbox. Are they favoring the PlayStation single-player experiences over what Microsoft has put out over the past 5 years?
No.
I'm gonna wait.
Joe says no.
I'm gonna wait. Let's see what you guys think first. I'm
Okay. So, I mean, like, my favorite 2 Xbox One games are, to play that are are probably Sunset and Quantum Break. I think they're both great. Sunset, I probably need a little bit more like time to play, but I mean, I did a whole bunch of research, and I have all the Metacritic scores for the majority of like the big first party titles. I did skip some out on some like remasters and stuff like that. Don't want to count those, but Quantum Break is sitting at a 77, and Sunset is sitting at an 81, which I think both scores a little on the low side, but
I would agree with you. Yep.
I can see it. I also don't think either of those can even touch Spider-Man, Horizon, and God of War.
I agree, except for Spider-Man.
I
just didn't enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Just personal.
Yeah, no, I get you. Not every good game is for everybody.
Exactly.
And I get that. I just don't think that like playability and I just don't think that those are on like par with those. Like I think those are top tier, and like these are like still like top tier, but like at like the next one down.
They could have been just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right. Which isn't a bad thing in any way. Is something should always be able to be a little bit better. Otherwise, what drive do you have to be better? You'll just stay the same, right?
So, I mean, I'd probably put Quantum Break probably high 80s, I would say.
Yeah.
And
85 easy.
Yeah, Sunset maybe an 85.
I'm at a 90 with that game. The style and the jokes that they told and the gameplay, I love that.
But I just don't think they're on those Sony first party studio tier.
Sunset at a 90 and God of War at a 95. They're two different scores right there.
Yeah. I also think that there's a pretty good balance. Knack is actually the lowest scored exclusive at a 54.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with that score. I did not like Knack.
I am a big fan of Knack. That was actually my favorite. That's my favorite like launch title.
From the
that
PS4?
Was exclusive. No. That was like first party. That's my favorite first party launch title.
Wow.
I liked Rise. Okay. Yeah, no, I really like Knack. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
But like like I just thought it was fun to play, and like there's a pretty good balance of there's some 80s, there's some 70s. Drive Club is sitting at a 71, which I don't think is anywhere comparable to the Forza series at all. Like I don't even think it.
Have you played Drive Club though? Because
I have not, but I have.
Good.
I've watched it. I've watched enough. Yeah. I think.
Okay. You're informed of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research like a while ago because it was something that interests me.
The idea of Drive Club interests me, but the game itself, hard pass.
Xbox does have quite a few more games that are scored 60s. They also have more games on this list as well.
Yep.
Rise is in there, Crackdown is in there, Recore is in there, Super Lucky's Tale, State of Decay, and Sea of Thieves. I mean...
some of those, like, actually hurt.
Yes.
Lucky's Tale, I'm kind of fine with. A lot of people don't like the quote-unquote janky camera in it.
I didn't have a problem with that camera.
No, there was no problem with the camera. It was just, it had 3 fixed views, and the middle one was fine enough to play the entire game. Like, the fixed middle camera, or whatever. Yeah. And I guess a lot of people like that whole 360 camera, and I didn't really see that as a big deal, which that kind of brings that score down. I get it. People like those open world or those kind of platformers where you can rotate the camera 360 degrees.
Yep. I'd put Super Lucky's Tale probably at a 7. Right? 70.
Yeah. I mean, that's not too far off.
No.
State of Decay 2, that's probably Ben's territory to talk a little bit more. I don't know if that game had any issues when it came out.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Sea of Thieves, I mean, like, that game didn't have any I mean, if you
it was
these are
naked.
these are launch reviews for the most part. I'm sure
Yes.
there's a few in there sprinkled in after that brought that score up, but like Sea of Thieves when this was reviewed and Sea of Thieves now are probably two very different games, and that's just how that
Very
style
different.
is.
I was playing it last week. I believe I talked about it on last show. It's completely different from when it launched. But I want to go back to State of Decay so Ben can kind of talk to it a little bit. Yeah, I had a lot of issues playing in co-op.
See,
It would drop constantly, it would kick constantly, or just driving along, it would be a constant chattering, like rubber banding back and forth. Especially with another player in the same car as me. That's why I dropped State of Decay 2 after I would say 3 hours into it.
See, this is, I think, is the difference between the co-op experience and the single player experience, because I had zero issues.
Right. Now, they did market this game, though, as a co-op game. You know, that was the big kind of selling point is, hey, you can play this with people now.
That might have been the
And
mistake.
for it to come out and, yeah, 100%. You know, I haven't heard much about State of Decay 2 now. It could be in a far better state, but again, we're going off launch reviews because that's how this industry works. Right?
This seems to be a recurring issue, though. It's not like this is only the smaller party games that are getting this issue, where they're coming out and they at launch, like immediately at launch, they're just not that functional. Because I remember Battlefield games coming out with the servers were terrible. You had to wait like 2-3 days. I've seen games across the platform, across the board do this, but they've ended up being great games to play once they fix those issues.
Yep.
I think we have to be careful here. I think we have to be careful of just.
There has to be. I agree with you. Now, Joe, we kind of touched on this before we started the show. Joe kind of disagrees with this, but I think there has to be a format in which people can re-review games after they've. I'm not saying every single game, but they have to go back and look at the state that it is in now, right? The devs want to put out a game so that, they can start earning a return, and then they keep adding to it as they see more money coming in. Because they might not have enough money to go from taking an extra 6 months to develop a game, but if they put it out now and get some money, they can put that back in and invest more into the ecosystem of the game, right?
Yes and no. Certain games like Sea of Thieves or whatever, like those what would we classify that as?
Subscription games, I suppose. Games as a service.
Subscription.
Games as a service. Those games as a service games, I feel like when they add new content like that, I feel like that they are worthy of a re-review and stuff like that. But if you have a I don't want to have someone that works at IGN or at Polygon or whatever that writes reviews or whatever, where they get a copy of Battlefield 5 days before it's supposed to come out, and then they're supposed to review it, and then the shit doesn't work, and then it's it's fixed in a week or two, and then they have to go back and re-review the entire experience. Yeah. No, that's ridiculous. I agree with you. Yep. But if it's a game like Sea of Thieves or Destiny or The Division or those games as a service games, I'm more than open to those getting re-reviewed because those are a constantly evolving piece of work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with I'm fine with Battlefield 5 getting a re-review when the Battle Royale comes out, where they talk about the Battle Royale mode. I don't remember what it's called. Was it called Gold Rush or something like
Firestorm.
that? Firestorm. Am I thinking of something else?
I think so. Gold Rush was a game mode at Bad Company.
Yeah.
Yes, my bad. But yeah, I mean I feel that extra mode that they're adding warrants a review in its own. But
I think so, too. Especially as a battle royale. Yeah, battle royale is constantly changing week to week. So
yeah, but I don't think that like I don't want like to read a review and then read a review like of a higher score game like a week or two later when
right.
shit just works or whatever, when they could have just, you know what I mean, like
Yeah, waited
delay it
that
a
2
week.
weeks. Right.
Delay it a
Right.
week.
Yep.
This is what you do betas for. I mean, I get it. Like,
Yeah, I would like to see like a season review, right? Like Fortnite has every 10 weeks it's a new season, or 11 weeks, right? Just go through season whatever, review it at the end, give it a number. And then 11 weeks later, same thing. You know, something like that. Or break it into a quarter or every 6 months. Something, you know, a big increase or added experience to the game.
You run the risk if you change the way they're... Because I imagine that a lot of games are, or people who create games are basing how they feel their game has done by two metrics, sales and reviews.
Right.
If you give...
Metacritic is also the same thing. That goes into all of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's reviews.
Yeah, right.
So if they're basing it on that, and you give them the potential to half-ass it for half of a season, and then pull it back together for the second half,
Yeah. Right.
it's potentially not what would happen, but it opens up a lot of time.
I'm not saying I have a solution to this problem. It's just I think as a industry we should start talking about how we're going to handle these games as a service going forward in reviewing.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we have to come up with something, you know. And if you have an idea, make sure you tweet at us. Ben, what's the Twitter?
It's at entirely_X.
Damn, I thought I had him there.
You never have me. It's a really
Nice
easy
try,
Twitter
Mike.
handle.
I tried.
I had a little bit of a stammer though. You almost got me.
Almost. So, back to the bias against Xbox. Do we think it's real? Do we
No.
think the hate is real?
Nah.
no, not at all.
I would say
I-
I don't think there's a.
I think for Crackdown 3, I think there's something a little extra there, and I can't put my finger on it. But
Yeah, I think.
as a whole, no.
Yeah,
Hang
I
on,
think they gotta redo Crackdown, because I haven't played the game, but from what I've seen, I would not give it that low of a score.
Yeah.
So
Ben, what were you saying?
so I was basing my original no, I don't think there is a bias on looking at the spread of ratings across the consoles. Now,
Yeah.
I had an idea from something
boy.
that Joe said before. So he said if you look at the top of the Xbox list, it's like the top 5 of Forza games.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the PlayStation list, tell me what driving games they've got.
Nothing.
So where else are you going to get your best driving game from?
On Xbox.
Yeah. And what's
Yeah,
the best
that's-
driving game on Xbox?
Forza. Hands on.
So if I take out the fact that there's no competition for the driving game genre.
Well, hey, and I'm just devil's advocate here. A lot of PlayStation fans would say Gran Turismo is a competitor of Forza.
They might, but
PlayStation devil's advocate.
PlayStation reviews
I
are
mean-
independent of Xbox reviews, and Gran Turismo is not at the top of their list.
Yep. I'm just again.
I know, but so if I take out the fact that through my logic, which if you want to hate on me or tell me I'm wrong, at entirely_X, there's no competition for Forza. I remove the Forza reviews from the equation, and I'm left with the top Xbox review rating being Gears of War 4 at 84 compared to God of War 4.
And tied with Halo 5.
Yeah. compared to God of War at 94, Uncharted 4 at 93, Bloodborne 92, Horizon Zero Dawn 89, Spider-Man 87. Like, you get through quite a lot before you get to an equal level.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, and all of those are single player experiences, right? Single player games that.
yeah.
I mean, I guess you could argue Uncharted has multiplayer, I believe, right?
Probably in the same way that Tomb Raider did. Like, it has it.
Exactly. Yeah, same wheelhouse as that, right? And then on Xbox, you look at Gears of War, Halo 5, and even Halo Wars 2 as a competitive online PvP type game.
Yeah.
You know, yes, they have stories and single player things, but most of the people still playing that today are playing it competitively.
Yeah. Wait, holy fuck. Are they seriously saying that the Order 1886, which I heard was broken, like that was like a short campaign?
Yeah.
They're
saying that is better than Crackdown 3.
Well, you look at the Order and it's 3 points in review ratings different from State of Decay 2. Nah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I think there is a slight bias. I think whether that's just down to PlayStation games being better at the moment,
or it could just be a preference for the reviewer.
I mean, yeah.
Right?
So
I mean, if you have, let's just, take a disgruntled employee who goes home, plays on PlayStation, right? And he is just handed an Xbox game, knows nothing of Xbox, doesn't play Xbox. How do you think he's going to favor that game versus a PlayStation game?
The game
probably with a little bias,
the game
right?
itself, maybe not. Well, yeah, everyone has their preference. If you have a console that you like more, you like to play on that more. So that could subconsciously affect your reviews. You also then have the potential for, let's say, he doesn't play that much on Xbox. So he's not as used to the controller, the feel of things. He's not as comfortable with it. He then doesn't, isn't as smooth at responding in the game genre that he plays most in. He would feel like he's not enjoying it as much because he's not as immersed into the gameplay. But that could literally just be the ergonomics of the difference. The difference in ergonomics between PlayStation and Xbox. But we don't know what these people are playing on primarily. We don't know what the primary console is.
Yeah, one of the other points I wanted to make was, who can you trust this day and age? And it simply comes down to, do your research on the reviewer. With social media nowadays, you can find out anything about anyone and the games they like, what they play on, what they prefer in their games. Just go listen to their podcast, look at their Twitter feed, look at their Instagram. Most of them stream, just go check it out and then read their final review of a game and see if you align with that person. That's the biggest advice I can give. Don't just listen to one person unless you, align with them 100%. But
I'll add something extra to that as well.
Yeah.
See how their opinions match up to yours. They might be the biggest reviewer out there, but in all honesty, a lot of the big reviewers don't match up in terms of what they enjoy for games. To me, they just don't match.
I'm the same way. Yeah, a lot of the people at IGN, I listen to them. I read most of their stuff, but I like playing competitive games for long hours on end. Apex, 65 hours in 1 week. How many of them are playing video games for 65 hours a week in total across all video games? Probably not one of them.
No.
Right?
Well, there might be that one random dude.
That one guy
who doesn't like
corner.
talking to anyone.
Because he's playing the game. So,
yeah.
And again, go ahead, Joe.
I'm going to go with the only person you should really trust is yourself.
Yep.
Because what I like, you might not like, and what I like, Ben might like, but you might not like it, even though we like the same things, or we like it less or more. I do understand the point or for like the reviews and why so many people are heavy on review scores. And I mean, like 12 years ago, you used to be a little bit more adventurous with taking like a gamble on a game just because there weren't so many like coming out at once. I mean, like around like the holidays or whatever, like a decade ago, there'd be like one game a week or whatever, maybe from like the end of October to like a week before Black Friday. But now there's so many, and everybody is very cautious about how they spend their dollar, and they want to make sure that they can get the most bang and the most enjoyment for their buck. And I do understand why people are like a little like go by reviews and stuff like that, but because people like to do research. You don't want to, like, if you're tight on money, especially now, you don't want to get burned on something that you might not like.
Right.
And like if you're looking for something like fun, I mean, this is a rough week to do, because I mean, you got or this is a rough time of the month, because you got Trials Rising in 2 weeks. You have Anthem next week.
This week.
Yeah, this week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then last week you had Crackdown, you had Far Cry, you had Jump Force or whatever. And Metro. So I mean, if you can only afford one game, like, you gotta kind of.
You're probably not going with Crackdown on this one.
Yeah, you might not go with Crackdown. You might go with, Crackdown's about 30 to 35 hours, maybe 40-ish or whatever. 45 if you get trouble looking for orbs or whatever. But, like, if you only have $60 to spend, why wouldn't you, go for Metro, which is scoring higher or whatever and looks better? And
or depending on what Anthem scores, hold out for that, see what that does.
I'm not ready to commit to that getting a high score just because of the style of game it is. So I feel like it'll initially score a lot lower, and then it'll evolve over time, and everybody will talk about how great it is. I don't think it's going to be amazing right out the gate.
I don't know. That demo was pretty dope. It was pretty good. Iron Man. You'll never find a game that comes close to it like this. It'll be interesting. I'm excited for, what is it, Friday it comes out, right? The 22nd? Yeah. I'm excited to see how people will react to this one. I was excited for people to react to Crackdown 3, but that got blown up. Well, is there anything else any other points you guys want to drive home?
No.
About this Xbox bias world we live in?
Nah, I think if we overdo it now, we might paint ourselves as a little biased ourselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Anything else, Tyler?
No, I'm pretty good. I mean,
Well, the last thing I'll leave you with, if you have Game Pass, just try Crackdown.
Yeah.
It's there. Just try it. See for yourself. Right, Joe?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this episode, unless you guys got anything else.
No.
No? All right, Benny. Let's hit him with the Twitter again.
At entirely_X.
I am so proud of you.
Yep,
and you could go to facebook.com/entirelyxgaming.
Yep.
And Instagram, it is entirelyx_podcast.
Hey.
Please go there. Posted some pretty cool clips of me and Ben playing some Apex.
That's my bit.
I'm sorry. I didn't steal it. I was just on a roll.
It's okay.
And we have a website in the works, too.
Ooh.
Yes, we do.
You gonna tease it? Yes.
On the way.
Tease it.
I think next episode we'll be more comfortable with talking about what our plans are with that one, right?
Yeah. What's it called? Okay. I've been working on it for probably like a week, so I'm not a web developer, so it's kind of amateur hour. But I mean, for what we have right now, it looks pretty good for the minimal amount of web dev knowledge I have.
Yeah. I would say if you're interested in the website, let us know, and we'll see if we can get you a little sneak peek. See what you think.
We'll talk more about it. Maybe we'll do a giveaway.
Yeah, for sure.
On the website.
Ooh, that's a cheeky one. I like that.
Fancy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll talk about that next week, and thanks, guys, for joining.
Yep.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Yep.